Hello, welcome to Unequal Sequel.
Extra.
Hello everyone, welcome to another review episode of this fabulous podcast, who is hosted by me, Dave, and the other guy, Rich.
Hello.
That's the other guy. Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Unequal Sequel, where we talk about things that sequel-based fun.
Yeah. Sequel-based fun.
When I say sequel-based fun, you shouldn't just go,
I didn't go, I said, yeah.
Yeah, but after like the fourth try. Fun, Rich.
Well, it's in the stands. There's someone at my front door.
A lot is happening right now. Yes, like I said, we are going to do a review episode. But first, let me just check in on Rich. You all right, Rich?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay, that's good. We went to the cinema, not together this time, this week, sadly. It's been a couple of weeks in which we've actually done a review episode. We did the roundup and we've done a ranking. I think the last one was Alien, wasn't it? Alien Romulus?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
It just seems like a while, to be honest. And we are doing a sequel that is 36 years old. Is that correct? Is my maths from 1988 is the first one, and this one's...
Yeah, 36 years, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we're doing Beetlejuice.
Yeah, yes we are. It's a film we've talked about a fair bit, and I've been quite worried about.
I've also been quite nervous about it. For many reasons. Legacy sequels can go either way.
Yeah.
Sequels from films from our childhoods can go either way.
Big age gaps.
Films that you think are great, and then you rewatch them and you think, I should have kept that in my memory, sometimes are problems. I've had this when I've had friends tell me they haven't watched Beetlejuice. I say, you should really watch Beetlejuice. It's great. I loved it. And then they come back and be like, it wasn't great. And I was like, it's probably something for a younger you, which always worries me. Or the Goonies effect is the one I'm always worried about when I suggest older films from the 80s, especially this Tim Burton era.
Yeah. I don't always like Tim Burton.
This was his best era, though, right?
But Beetlejuice is one of the Tim Burton films I do like.
Okay,
and
good.
I think a lot of it's the music. I really like the
Danny
music
Elfman,
in the original.
Good.
Not Danny Elfman, the musical the musical takes, like the songs they use.
The needle drops, as the kids call it now.
The needle drops.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Beetlejuice. Director Tim Burton returning. Michael Keaton has returned as Beetlejuice. Winona Ryder has returned. Catherine O'Hare has returned. I think that's it as returning characters.
Yes. We
will talk about the dad.
I was going to say we'll talk about that one later, shall we?
Yes. Before all that happens, okay, we will do spoilers in spoiler territory, but we won't do that for at least, I say, maybe possibly pushing 12 minutes, if we're good today.
Yes, let's try our best.
10 to 12 minutes.
If you've listened to the podcast before, you know the score. We're very, very bad at not doing spoilers. So,
no, but we're also trying to get very, very good at not doing spoilers at the beginning of our reviews.
We're going to try really... Yeah, we're going to try really hard, but apologies in advance if we miss it. Sorry.
Because sometimes Rich accidentally drops things in when he does the synopsises.
Yes.
So, I don't know if you want to remind people what Beetlejuice was about and then do a synopsis of Beetlejuice.
Ow.
It should be quite simple. You know, you're a big fan.
I'm not a big fan, no. I think it's just one of the Tim Burton movies that I don't dislike.
He did this, Batman, Edward Scissorhands, and then Batman Returns in a row. And then Edwards. That's
pretty good going. That is pretty good going. Yeah, so that's true. But then he also did loads of shit with Johnny Depp.
Yes, that was the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah. Okay, right. So, in the first Beetlejuice, a couple move into a house and they die tragically and become ghosts. And then some more people move into their house after they're dead, but they're still ghosts and they're still in their house. And so they enlist the help of Beetlejuice, who is what do they call it?
A bioexorcist.
A bioexorcist, who's basically a ghost who gets rid of the humans from their house. But they soon come to realise that Beetlejuice is worse than the humans, and they end up getting rid of him and sticking with the humans instead. Long and the short of it, right? Like,
it has Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis in it.
Yes, who aren't returning cast in this one. No. And then, so synopsis of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is that the family, the human family that move into the house with the ghosts, end up having to come back to the house following a family tragedy that brings them together. And Lydia, who's Winona Ryder's character, who was a teenage girl in the first one, is like can see ghosts, and her job now is to talk about, like, she's like a haunted house kind of person on TV, like, you know, does that sort of program you like, Dave, the Ghost Hunters thing.
It felt more like Most Haunted than Ghost Adventures, but okay, I'm with you.
That kind of thing. She now has a daughter called Astrid. They come back to the house, to the thing, and unsurprisingly, ghostly stuff happens, and they end up summoning Beetlejuice again. Ta-da. And I can't do anything else much because the spoilers.
That's good. I've got one question, and you might be able to answer this for me.
Yeah.
Why is the film called Beetlejuice when Beetlejuice is spelled differently?
Don't know. Because if you called it the way that the moon or whatever it is spelled Beetlejuice,
or on the signs when he's advertising himself is spelled differently to what the film's called.
Yeah, because his name is spelt the same as the I'm sure it's like a moon of Jupiter or something. Beetlejuice.
Well, this is new information to me. 36 years and never knew.
Yeah, so Beetlejuice is I think it's either a moon or a star or something. It's some celestial body. But yeah, it's called Beetlejuice, and it's spelled the Bete. Yeah, that way. So obviously he's still got the same name as the star. But yeah, I don't know why. Maybe because the way he gets to say the name in the first one is he does like
the Beetle.
The Beetle and the Juice. That's this one, isn't it? Like,
oh wow! Have you just watched these back to back?
I have. I did watch them back to back.
Too.
Yeah, I needed a reminder of the first one, and I only watched this one quite late last night. I watched it at like 9:00 in the cinema last night.
You're a little bit older to me.
Yeah.
So in 1988, I was 3.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you to be?
7.
Okay, so when did you first watch Beetlejuice? Because I didn't watch it until my probably late teens.
Probably would have been at 10, maybe.
Okay.
That sort of age. Between 10 and 12, I guess.
Is that a good age to watch Beetlejuice?
Yeah, I think it's probably fine. Not sure my son would like it. I think
there's some adult stuff in
scary.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the themes again.
It's quite scary, isn't it? Like, there's lots of like scary faces and that kind of stuff. I remember thinking there's a film with Rick Mayall in it called Drop Dead Fred.
Yes.
In my brain, I get mixed up with Beetlejuice. As in, some of the funny things that happen in Drop Dead Fred, I assigned to Beetlejuice instead. And then when I rewatched Beetlejuice, I was like, what's that bit? And I was like, it's Drop Dead Fred, that's why.
Oh, okay.
I like Drop Dead Fred a lot better.
Oh, good. That's a hot take. Might be a British sense of humour.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think it's a British sense of humour.
Plus, Rick Mayall's a genius.
Exactly, and that's why I love Rick Mayall. And it's got like Phoebe Cates in it, who's like beautiful, and Carrie Fisher, and all kind of like
Yeah.
So I remember Drop Dead Fred more than I remember Beetlejuice. But when I rewatched Beetlejuice, I was like, oh yeah, it's all right, it's okay.
Age 12 for you?
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's fine because it's all practical effects, isn't it? So
I like I liked all those different ideas.
Yeah,
it felt very Tim Burton-y. And what were the reasons why you loved Tim Burton so much in that period? And Keaton is great as Beetlejuice. He's worth the money.
Yeah,
I forgot how little he is in the first film.
He's
only in it
barely in it. Yeah,
about 15 minutes. It's incredible.
It's more about Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis than it is about.
Yes, the Matlins, I think they're called. And like you said, they're not in the new film. And then there's been many rumours. This was meant to Beetlejuice for years for me was been on that disenfranchised list because there's been always rumours about trying to do a second one. I think there's a famous script out there somewhere called Beetlejuice Goes to Hawaii or something.
Oh, right,
something
okay.
like that.
Oh, right.
So, and it's only recently that I think Keaton's always wanted to do it. And they're just finding the time and doing it. It has to be Tim Burton. The things you need in this film are Tim Burton, Danny Elfman, and Michael Keaton, I would say.
Yeah.
And that aligned finally in 2024. Now, I like Beetlejuice. When I watched it when I was a teenager, I thought that was cool. I liked all different effects. It's when I was getting into movies and stuff, I can appreciate it and stuff like that. But it's never really massively stuck with me. No, I would say, and one of my greats. I appreciate it for what it is, and I've never really thought about a sequel just because Keaton's in it so little as Beetlejuice. I remember there was a Beetlejuice cartoon, right?
Yeah, I think there wasn't there?
Yeah, I had a Beetlejuice money box for a while, so if you put the pound or coin on this bit, a hand came through and took it.
Okay.
And that was cool, and that's kind of how I remember Beetlejuice. I don't remember it being quite so adult as I thought it was when I watched it the other night. It's like, Jesus, it's a lot about real death, suicide, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And some of the bodies are quite grotesque. And I thought, be interesting to the new one. The new one is a PG-13. It's up to you if you want to take your kids, I guess. Is that what that means?
Yeah, it's a 12A here.
Because in our screen yesterday, there were little kids, and I was like, oh, that's brave.
Yeah, it's so to watch it, you have to be 12 if you're unaccompanied, or you can be under 12, you've got to be with an adult.
Oh, they are under 12 and with an adult, hopefully. Okay.
So I didn't watch it till like 9 o'clock at night, so there were no kids in my
you didn't
screening.
have a problem?
No.
Was it busy?
No.
Okay. Sunday night. No,
probably
not
about
busy.
10, 15 people in there, I'd say.
Okay, mine was fairly busy. I think there is a big fan base
for
this film. I think it's done very well over the weekend, made about $145 million.
Oh, that's good.
Really strong, really strong. My wife did ask why it didn't come out
at Halloween.
It's a perfect Halloween film. It's actually set on Halloween night.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, effects. That is a strange one. Like, do it a month later, and it would have. Yeah, but then I guess more competition, maybe.
Maybe. Did you enjoy it?
Do you know what? I did.
Oh,
I actually enjoyed it.
Okay.
I don't think it's not amazing, but I had fun. I came out of it going, that zipped by pretty quickly. I wasn't bored at any point. I wasn't sat there tutting and rolling my eyes like I thought I might be. And I came out, I was like, do you know what? I quite enjoyed it.
This is all positive.
Yeah.
For me, it was fine. And it never quite took off. And it was held down by its own limitations and overpacking itself.
There's too much in it. That's a good... Yeah.
There's a storyline in there I thought was interesting, and then suddenly that's just dropped. And then they carry on some other storylines. You're like, I do not give a shit about what that character's doing in this film, to be honest. 2 characters in this film. And it felt like lots of funny sketches kind of put together to make a long film. I think it's the best way of doing it.
Yeah,
so I had a pleasant enough time on it, and it was nice to be in those people's company again. I think Keaton again is worth the money alone. Again, I would like to see more of that Beetlejuice character causing more mischief. Winona Ryder's great. I think who's the daughter? Why have I forgotten her name?
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega is a perfect Tim Burton fit.
Yeah.
Daughter of Winona Ryder. I think that's great. I think Catherine O'Hare comes along and they give her more funny things to do because she is hilarious.
Catherine O'Hara, yeah.
O'Hara. I like to call her O'Hare. I read it. And then we've got Justin Theroux in there. We've got William Dafoe and Monica Bellucci.
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah. And Arthur Conti as well, the kid.
Oh, yes. I liked that storyline. Can I say what other storylines are, or is that going to spoilers?
No, well, we've done 15 minutes now, Dave, so I think that's reasonably good to start sort of spoilery stuff.
Okay, it has layers, this film, and not in a good way.
Would it give a big flashing warning that spoilers are going to happen?
Territory. Spoilers territory. There's a storyline where Monica Bellucci plays Beetlejuice's ex-wife comes back from the dead, and she is completely pointless in my eyes in this film. There's no need to her to be in it. And as much as I love William Dafoe, didn't need William Dafoe either. The central storyline I liked was about the boy trying to trick the daughter into giving her a soul and replacing it. And that is literally dropped through a trapdoor with about half an hour to go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all kind of, yeah.
Then after that, for me, it just simmered till the ending. I don't know, what did you think?
Yeah, no, I think... There are lots of different storylines in it. The Monica Bellucci storyline, I kind of didn't really get that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked the bit with Danny DeVito. There's a bit of a spoiler. Danny DeVito's in it.
Yeah, that is a good Burton.
I like the Danny DeVito bit with Monica Bellucci where she's sort of putting herself back together. I like
nice.
that. And I was like, oh, she's going to be the big bad. And then she doesn't really do anything.
No,
she does virtually nothing. And yeah, and I think actually the best storyline is sort of the relationship between Lydia and Astrid. That you're right, that the relationship with Astrid and Jeremy, that kind of thing, that whole kind of. But although the first time she met Jeremy, I was like, he's a ghost.
I was shocked.
Were you?
Shocked.
I was like, he's a ghost.
I liked those reveals. I liked when she went into the house and Lydia saw the mum and the dad. I was like, here we fucking go, lads. We've got a storyline here. I'm grabbing onto this because everything at that point had been nice, and you've seen sandworms or whatever. Beetlejuice was making me laugh and stuff like that. But I thought, oh, there's something to really hold on to.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes.
And what a bit I did like is how they dealt with the death of the dad.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about the dad.
We're going to have to talk about the dad. Okay, so it's an interesting way of how to deal with one of your like key characters, the actor being essentially a paedophile, I think is what we can say. You know, he's been convicted, so it's it's something we can say. So Jeffrey,
I can say it. In 2003, his name is Jones, pleaded to Jeffrey Jones pleaded to no contest of charges of possession of child pornography and solicited to a 14-year-old boy to produce sexual explicit images between September 2000 to May 2001. So it's,
not a good dude.
Because I didn't know this until I watched the film, and I was like, I thought he was dead in real life because I hadn't seen him. I didn't know about the history. I know him from Ferris Bueller's Day Off as the head teacher.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And then I read a bit on the internet. I was like, oh, fuck. And then I was surprised about how they use that character so freely in the film. Like,
they do, yeah.
They put his face front and centre a lot.
They do,
but
I also think it's quite a clever way that they have his body walking around with a different act. So he'll get no money from this because he's not. Well, no, he won't because he's not in it.
But his face is in it. His likeness.
Well,
on the grave.
Yeah, I guess. Although I don't know.
It's interesting.
It is interesting.
It's interesting. It's a talking point
because basically what happens is it's his death that brings everyone together. But obviously, just because people die, you still see them because they're ghosts. But you don't see him because he has his head bitten off by a shark. So it's just a body walking around.
Which is fun. Yeah. And you could have left it at that because then you don't see the couple you don't see Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis.
No.
And there's a great line in the film.
They've gone to the great beyond, haven't they? They've moved.
They worked and it was like, her line is, oh, how convenient. Perfect. How are we going to explain these two actors not being in this film? It's like a Palpatine return somehow.
Because ghosts can't age, right? So how are we going to have them in it? We have to de-age them.
I think they could have just said he's dead and then left it and he's lost somewhere.
Yeah.
So, but I can see what you're saying. Him getting his face bitten off by a shark is a second best option.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was reasonably well done. But you're right. If they could have not had his face on a gravestone through most
that would
of
have
it,
been simple.
A shark fin shaped gravestone, which I thought was quite funny.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
And yeah, you're right. And Catherine O'Hara's funny in it. Justin Theroux is like a bit boring and fine, just blah. Monica Bellucci doesn't have much to do. Willem Dafoe is Willem Dafoe. He's just Willem Dafoe all over the place. Yeah, he's just being himself. There's Bern Gorman as well, who plays like the priest, who is just a brilliant kind of British actor that you'll see pop up in places and go, what a performance.
Really random places, yeah.
Yeah. And Amy Nuttall off of like Emmerdale years ago, like very much a teenage crush of mine. I was like, she? Oh, hello, Amy Nuttall. She's like the woman who turns up to try and sell the house, I think.
Oh, she's the daughter of the woman from the first one.
Yeah.
I get that. I did enjoy, there's lots of bits enjoyed. I enjoyed the Catherine O'Hara, her things trying to get over the husband, her comic pieces. And she eventually kills herself accidentally by ordering snakes that she thinks are defanged. And
they're not,
I like how she gets excited when she finds out she's actually dead, but her art pieces will get more money.
Will be worth more, yeah.
But for a sequel that some people have been waiting for so long, I think it's an extremely hard thing to make a sequel to Beetlejuice. Because it feels like a piece of its time a little bit, because the 80s and the effects they use, the practical stuff, which I'm really glad they
I wasn't someone who was desperately waiting for this sequel. I wasn't really excited about it going in. But I did come out going, do you know what? I had fun.
It was worth your time, you're saying.
I had fun with it, yeah. Hour and a half, hour and 40, whatever it was. Like, it zipped by. I wasn't bored. And I came out, I was like, it's all right.
This is all great. Do you think it had that Tim Burton feel that he's kind of been missing for a while?
Yes, but not too much.
But in a good
felt
way.
Like better, good Tim Burton rather than
good.
Over the top Tim Burton.
I think everyone's been waiting for that Tim Burton to return for a while.
So
I felt that watching it. I was like, oh, good. At least it feels and looks like a Tim Burton film now.
Definitely does. Yeah, it definitely does. Like. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few kind of Tim Burton-y things that I could just leave these days, Yes. And I've never been a huge Tim Burton fan, apart from obviously Planet of the Apes. No, I'm joking. That's a joke. It's a joke. Before anyone takes that kind of too seriously. But I did like Mars Attacks.
But he does have a look, though, right? Doesn't he? As a director,
Yeah.
You can tell when he's directed a movie.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely can.
He's kind of one of those directors for me that I always kind of go and watch his stuff because it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. At least it's normally an event or something.
I probably enjoyed this. Of all Tim Burton's movies, I enjoyed this more. I mean, you have to go back to Big Fish, I think.
Big Fish is great.
Was the last Tim Burton movie I liked as much as I liked this.
Yeah. A lot of people say sometimes Big Eyes. I think one of his underseen films.
I don't know if I've seen that.
I haven't seen it either, just because
You've got things like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Sweeney Todd and Alice in Wonderland and
do not like those
Dark
films.
Shadows. It's all bad.
Do not like those films at all.
Dumbo is bad. I think
that was a weird one.
Yeah,
old Dumbo.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like a Tim Burton film.
Lots of bad stuff in there. But no, I haven't seen Big Eyes. Maybe that'll be a different one. But yeah, I think the last Tim Burton film sort of before this one that I liked was Big Fish. So, been a while.
Shall we do Rotten Tomatoes? Do you care about box office, or should we save that for the end of the month when it really starts to get going?
I mean, you mentioned box office, didn't you? You said it's done 145
it's done well.
million.
People are going to see it. It's had a really strong opening weekend, so it shows there is a fan base for this film. Hopefully they're going to be happy going into it. Do you want to do Rotten Tomatoes then?
Yeah, go on then. Let's see some Rotten Toms.
Rotten Toms. Thank you, Sequelizers. So do you want to do the first one or second one, or do you just want to do the second one?
Let's do the first one and the second one, shall we?
Okay, so the first one is from 1988, 115 reviews on Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Critics first.
Critics first. I think this is going to be an audience more than the critics movie.
Okay.
And I'm going to go 64 for critics.
Okay. 83 for critics.
Oh. I'm wrong. Okay.
Well, you might still be right.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I was going to sort of mid-80s for audience. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to bump it a little. 88 for audience.
82.
Oh. What? Okay. Fair enough.
Maybe it's not as loved as you remember.
Well, yes, yeah. Shows what I know.
Yep. Okay, so we move on to Beetlejuice for 2024. There's 252 reviews. So
I think it's been
heavily.
very mixed reviews, I think. But I do think it's a 3 out of 5. So 71?
Oh, 76.
Oh, okay.
So
I think that's fair. I think it is very much it sits in that 3 to 4 out of 5 star movie.
Yes, I think I agree with you on that one. Audience,
I think it'd be higher. I think 78.
82.
82, okay.
Might go down, up or down a couple of percent, but
still about not far off though. Yeah,
I think that's pretty strong. Any big critics? As legacy sequels go, Beetlejuice gets so much right, it's easy to gloss over the majority of its more obvious missteps. Someone's put less fun than the original.
I'd say it was as fun.
And that was a positive one, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Beetlejuice is a frenzied series of darkly comic sketches and various scrapes of random stories introduced in such a hectic whirlpool of emotion we won't take a breather anywhere, much less care what is being thrown at us every 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Fine.
I kind of get that.
Yeah, it is a lot. There's a lot in this movie.
It feels like it could have done with maybe one or two more looks at the scripts, not the Beetlejuice part, what he was saying. I think Keaton looks amazing, by the way. Like, he looks just like Beetlejuice, and it sounds like him. Feels like he hasn't missed a step of being that character. No. And I think that's what people want from these films. Again, he's only in it for maybe the same amount of screen time as the first one, and then you can argue if he should or shouldn't be in it more.
I think he's in it more than the first one.
I bet someone's timed it. Be interesting to find
out.
We ain't got time.
But I think there are too many characters in it, though.
Like side characters, like the Bob character. I mean, the guys with the little heads.
Even like not even side characters, even like the Monica Bellucci character, who's like
I said,
in it,
I'd get rid of her.
Like Willem Dafoe, just kind of pointless, but fun.
It was fun seeing more of the underworld. Is that what we call it in this one?
Yeah.
And I know you said you like the needle drops from the original. How did you like the needle drops?
I liked the needle drops in this one too. I think that's how you please me. Actually, it's just put good music in a movie. I think it's or just fun songs done in a good way.
It's nice that you're happy with this one because you were so nervous about it. How do you feel now that you're out of it? Are you relieved?
Yeah, I am relieved.
Because it could be worse.
Because it
could be coming to America.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not like I loved Beetlejuice. And I think that's why this one's okay, because it's not a beloved property for me. That I was sat there going, oh, well, they've got that wrong, and they've done that bit differently, and I didn't like that bit. I just found it quite an entertaining, fun movie. I like Winona Ryder, and I like the music.
She was great return as that character. I think it felt very natural. In fact, to be fair, all the returning characters felt natural to be in this movie, which is sometimes a worry and doesn't really work in other legacy sequels. And you just got about why a purpose of there being a sequel. I think there is. I think there's a use here, a reason why there is a Beetlejuice. And I think just about those storylines do work for it. Scoring wise, out of 7 and Unequal sequel.
Okay. I think it's positive. I would say
out of 7.
4.5.
Yeah. I would.
About 4.5.
I'm going to say 4. Okay. I don't think I'm as hot as you, but I always love it when you love a film more than me. It makes me very happy, by the way. Unequal sequel, is it better or worse than what has come before? Which on this one is only one film.
I think it's pretty equal, to be honest, for me.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'd say it's an equal sequel.
Do you know what? That's really good for a film that's had a 36-year-old gap between it.
I reckon. And, I can completely see both sides. Why there are people out there that might hate it and why there are people that really love it. But for me, it's just, it's so cool. It's just all right.
I think it's unequal in a bad way. I think it's because I really like the Gina Davis, Alec Baldwin stuff. Them, when they've got the sheets over their heads and they're trying to be scary. And I kind of feel like sometimes that misses that character.
It does. It misses a strong central story, is what it really misses.
Perfect. Bam. Yes. It's too muddled, and I think that's why it's not as good. But I was pleasant. I was relieved. Like I said earlier, it doesn't quite take off. Keaton really tries. Every time he's on screen, it works for me. It's just like the Monica Bellucci storyline a little bit, and I wanted the other killer boy storylines to go a little bit somewhere.
Yeah. Make one of your stories the story. You know, like
they really do drop him through a trapdoor at one point, and that's the end of that.
And that's the end of it. Yeah.
If they did it, because obviously Beetlejuice, you have to say his name 3 times he appears. Are they going for a third?
I kind of hope they do, just because I want that to pay off. I want Beetlejuice, the third movie. I want that.
It's a great gag, right?
Off.
For an
yeah. So I hope they do.
I've read reports that Tim Burton's like, nah, I'll be dead by the third one comes along.
Oh, that's a shame.
But money talks.
So if it does, and has it done all right? You said 145 million.
Yeah, 145. Great.
I don't know what the budget was, but I'd put it about 120 million budget.
What, as a budget?
Yeah.
I will tell you. Like you said, the whole IMDb thing's very green. The budget is estimated at 100 million.
Okay. Oh, that's all right. So if it's made 145 opening weekend, that's got a good chance of a nice profit, I'd say.
It'd be interesting to see if there's how big of the drop-off is for the second week.
I would say there's a chance it's staying open till Halloween. It's staying in cinemas till Halloween.
It'll be perfect if it stays open. It'd be perfect to open to Halloween. It's weird because this is the kind of film I would want to watch on Halloween more compared than the Saws and the Blumhouses Halloween. Yeah. It seems what they're dropping this year at that time.
Maybe they were aiming for it to come out on streaming at Halloween or something, maybe. But
that seems very rushed. So they plan to do that. Because that's
only
like a few weeks away, really.
6 weeks or so.
Okay, well, we want to know everyone's thoughts on Beetlejuice, because I think there's going to be, like you said, some people really loved it and really hated it. So get in contact. Rich will tell you how to do that via his mouth.
Yeah, I think you were going to say via song for a minute there.
No, I wouldn't set you up for to sing a song like.
Thank God for that. Yeah, how I'm going to get a song in about how you can find us on social media, I'm not sure how I'd manage that. But you can find us on social media. We're on all the social medias, including that one that used to have a bird on it that is dying a death. We're still on there. Just type in Unequal Sequel and you'll find us. Doesn't matter if it's TikTok or Blue Sky or whatever. We're there. You can find us. Get in touch. Tell us what you thought of Beetlejuice. I think maybe people are going to massively disagree with us in lots of ways. So
I hope so.
That would be fun to talk about that in the end of the month roundup. If you don't do social media, then get yourself onto email, drop us a line, unequalsequel@hotmail.com. We will read out all your emails in the end of the month roundup, as I've mentioned. If you want to hear more reviews like this, then go back and check those out. There's loads more reviews. And there's also all of our interview episodes, which are the main bit of our podcast. It's where we interview other people and ask them their best, worst and dream sequel. Go back and listen to those. There are 6 seasons of those interviews, and we are currently recording season 7, which will be out before Halloween.
Oh my God.
That's a lot. That's really not long. But yeah, that's coming out soon. So yeah, go back and give those a listen. Whilst you're there, hit the auto download button, hit the subscribe button. We'll drop into your pod player choice every single week. If you wouldn't mind tapping us out a review, we are trying to get to 200 reviews on Apple Podcasts. If we can get to 200 5-star reviews, we can then become certified Rotten Tomatoes critics. And when we do that, we will run some sort of competition to celebrate. And we'll have that open for you people who are listening and subscribing to our podcast. If you really like us and you want more from us, you can join us over on anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, where you can join our subscription service for just $2.99 a month, which is an absolute bargain. And we've not put the price up with inflation. It's still a bargain, where you'll get sequel sessions for all the interview episodes. So there's loads of extra stuff from all of those. You'll also get Box Set Mentality, where we're talking about the Rambo franchise at the moment. And you'll get Disenfranchised, where we talk about movies that should have had a franchise but didn't for some reason. So go and join us over there.
Cool. I've just realised that I could make you do a song, because you have got a guitar hanging up behind you.
I have, but I'm not going to play it for you.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay.
It's not in tune anyway.
It's just there for show, apparently. It's one of those guitars.
It is one of those. It very much is at the moment. I don't think I've played it for a good 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
So it's horrifically out of tune by now, I should think.
Well, one day you might come out of retirement for it. Okay, so send us in your thoughts, your reviews of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. We'd love to hear it. Thank you for everyone that has joined us on Threads. It's coming a hip-hop happening place over at Threads, so thank you for that. Next week, we are doing the 60th year anniversary of Goldfinger. Yep, that is our 60 years. Wow. And I'm really quite looking forward to that because I think it's a good Bond film.
Does that exist? Anyway.
Yes. So look forward to that. See you everyone next week. It's a bye-bye from me, bye-bye, and a bye-bye from him.
Bye!
See you in the next one. Sequel to this one. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Woo. I'm going to go and find that MacArthur Park song and listen to that now.
What's the
one from the end of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.
Is that what it is? I had no idea what that song was, by the way.
I mean, I came to that because of the Weird Al Yankovic parody about Jurassic Park.
Again, he's like he's talking Spanish to me.
Okay, good.